Now joining us live is Abisola Richard-Ogbomo, advocate for hygiene, health and safety. Hi, good evening, good evening. Good evening, Abisola. How are you doing? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good evening, thanks
I
for
said
joining
very
us.
well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Great.
Today is hand washing day.
Yeah.
And more importantly, with the pandemic, how is Nigeria doing with hand washing?
Well, we can only hope that Nigeria gets better at the process of hand washing. We can only hope that we build more of a culture of hand washing, across every income level, from the people we would call the low income level, group to from the people that we will categorize as low income level to the people that we might categorize as middle income level and to the ones that maybe are above those levels. We just only hope that we keep building the culture. We keep being consistent in the process of hand washing. That's what I would say.
Okay, in that report, we saw the reporter taking us through the proper way to wash our hands. Without that,
Yeah.
I'd have asked to take us through the proper way to wash our hands. Is there anything you want to add?
Well, I think the WHO has done a fantastic job of encouraging detail and thoroughness in the process. I would say that the only thing I would encourage is that, those who provide us with a hand wash desist from diluting them. Because I can't really understand if I know, yes, for economic reasons, some people dilute, but I'm not so certain of the effectiveness of your hand wash when it's already diluted and it's almost as good as water. So I would say that one thing that we should stay away from and avoid is undue dilution, because you really can't tell the quantity. You don't have like a standard to diluting. So I would say use the hand wash as it is so that we are sure of optimum results in terms of hand washing.
Oh, I see. Okay. What
Yeah.
about, but certain hand wash liquids can be so
Yeah.
condensed, that you know that, I don't want to advertise for any brand, but if you live in Nigeria, you're familiar with certain brands that are so condensed, yes, that are so condensed that you can, even under running water, you can hardly wash off the soap and the, so what do you do about such condensed hand washing liquids?
Um, Without castigating any brand, I would say that any brand that is worth using would give you the right concentration to wash hands effectively. So I guess this is to say that to manufacturers, please go and do more work in terms of the manufacturing of the kind of hand wash that would be considered very effective, so that consumers are not in any way tempted to dilute and therefore affecting the process of effective hand washing.
I see. So how many times a day is ideal to wash our hands?
Well, the truth of the matter, there's no prescription for an ideal number of times that you wash your hands. You wash your hands before you eat, you wash your hands after eating, you wash your hands when you've done anything dirty. Basically, without trying to make people paranoid or make people suddenly very, what's the word? Very overtly conscious.
Okay. Right.
I would say that you should wash your hands every time you've undergone activity that is considered dirty, an activity that you see that is considered infectious, meaning you can infect someone or yourself in the process of engaging in that activity. So please wash your hands when you undergo such activities in a day. Yeah.
So then, how many seconds or minutes should a hand washing session last?
I would generally would say 20 seconds, but I'm so in love with the WHO's prescription because I am an advocate for hand washing. So I guess the more the merrier. So if they say, because they are a reputable organization and consider 40 to 60 seconds, then I'd say we should, do what it takes to ensure our hands are cleaned and cleaned thoroughly because we are responsible for ourselves and for the next person.
Let me put the last two questions together for you. I say have two questions in mind.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I was going to ask.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
I was going to say, how can we imbibe? How can we encourage more people to imbibe this culture, and then especially children too? How can we help children cultivate this hygiene?
Very interesting question. For the category of people who are now independent, they don't require too much repetitions like children would require. I would say that it would mean that the government has, to do more work in trying to sell to them the strengths of hand washing and the strengths as it pertains to their own selves and as it pertains to being responsible for the next person. And perhaps if we have more hand washing centers around and we, put it in people's faces, that would encourage it. And perhaps if we have enforcement, because I have experienced cases in the COVID, and sometimes I would, have a good laugh to with myself that you would see things like no mask, no entry. Yet the people in the place are not practicing what they're preaching. So it would be great if we have ambassadors for hand washing, people that people look up to, young adults and even grown really elders of the society look up to and would pay attention to. That's for adults. But with regards to our children, I had a burden in 2019 and I wrote a book just trying to illustrate the process of hand hygiene to our children. And so I would say for children, we just need to meet them at the point where we can engage them. And the beautiful thing about children is that once you're able to sell it to them, they buy into it and they become self-acclaimed ambassadors. They would even be the ones telling their parents, Mommy, you should wash your hands. Daddy, you should wash your hands. So I would say for children, we go to their schools as well. We create cartoons about hand washing, interesting, we make it exciting. We also encourage the parents who have the duty of care to please also see the example they want to see.
Thank you, Abisola. Thank you, Abisola. So
Thank you so much, sir.
we should live out the examples we want to say. Thank you very much for coming on the show tonight.